Peace to the tribe and blessings to the family. I hope you family are doing all right. This is Apostle Blacksmith. I'm back with another video. On this video, I want us to talk about the dream realm a bit. Talk about dreams just a little bit, right? Because there's a lot of interest and confusion and misunderstandings concerning dreams that surrounds the subject of dreams or the ability to dream, right? So but dreams, they're of interest. They've been of interest since the ancient times. Actually, dreams are very important. Dreams, they are one of the primary ways on how God speaks. So I need to state that up front. Okay. So you will be making a grave mistake if you are ignoring dreams, or you are not taking your dreams serious, right? Because I mean, the Bible says in the book of Job 33, verse 14 and 15 and 16, God speaks once, yet twice, yet men do not recognize it, yet men do not perceive it. And then it says, he speaks in the dream of the night. He speaks through a dream, rather, right? And number two, it says he speaks through the vision of the night. Number two. Number three, he opens the ears of men. He seals them with instruction. Then the Bible says he terrifies men with warnings. So that is to say, there's a lot of information that you can be able to receive in the nighttime or during the nighttime. So the nighttime, it's not just a time to rest, but the nighttime is also a time to hear from God. Okay, there's so many communications during the nighttime. In fact, there are some prophets that receive most of their communication during the nighttime. Right? I call them owl prophets. Right? These are prophets. These are prophets whom God communicates with them most of the time during and through the nighttime. Right? But back to dreams. So now I want you to understand. If you go back to the book of Genesis, and you look at guys like Abraham, you notice that God spoke to him in dreams. In fact, if you check the patriarchs, you check the prophets, you go through, even you come to the time of the birth of Jesus, the Lord continued to speak through dreams. How did Mary, rather Joseph, knew that the child that Mary was carrying was of the Holy Spirit? It was through a dream. How did he know that the baby was going to be persecuted or his life will be sought after? It was through a dream. So we have more than enough scriptures to prove that dreams, they are one of the primary ways that God speaks. In fact, God himself said in the book of Numbers, if there is a prophet among you, I will speak to him. I'll make myself known to him in a vision, but I will speak to him through dreams. So God himself, he is saying, I speak through dreams. So God, yes, God does speak through dreams, right? And that's where, and once understand that, and you know that, sometimes that's where that's where trouble begins. Because now, people text me in their dreams. People ask me interpretations of dreams. In fact, there was a time I used to interpret dreams, but I just don't have time now to do it because there are so many people with dreams that needs an interpretation. This is why I'm doing this video, to kind of help you understand these things, your dreams, and clear out your dreams and know what is of God and what is not of God. Okay? So once you believe in dreams, you can have problems. You can start having problems in your life if, after believing in dreams, you also don't establish that there are different sources of dreams. Right? Because the problem is that once a lot of believers start believing in dreams, they now think every dream they have is from God, and every dream they have has a prophetic meaning. So you find that they will be taking dreams that are not from God and trying to break them down, trying to get a message from it. Right? So after, I want you to understand this. Never ever undermine dreams. Never ever despise dreams. Never treat as a light thing dreams, because dreaming alongside with visions is how the Lord speaks. However, the moment you believe in dreams and the moment you start taking dreams serious, there's now a need for discernment. There is now a need a need of the ability to tell between dreams that are coming from God and dreams that are not coming from God, right? So here's one of the things you must understand. I said to you, the first thing then you must understand after you believe in dreams is that there are many sources of dreams. So not all your dreams are coming from God. I want you to get that, because some of you today you are holding on to ideas that that you receive in a dream, and that dream was not from God. Some of you have accused people of things they didn't do because you had a dream about them, and simply because you had a dream about them, you believed the dream. You didn't care where the dream came from. You know that? And I know people who call other people witches. I know people who accuse other people of doing things, that they've not that they didn't see them doing. Of course, they believe they receive a prophetic insight from a dream, but the problem is that the dream was not from the Lord. You see? So this is why you now have to be able to distinguish now between dreams that are coming from the Lord and dreams that are not coming from the Lord. Are you getting it? So it's the same thing with the voice of the Lord. Once you believe in the voice of the Lord, once you believe that God can speak through your thought life, once you believe that God can speak through the voice of your consciousness, then that's not enough, because there is your consciousness, your soul can speak through your consciousness. And you can't take that as for the Lord. For example, there are people who give themselves prophecies and say, the Lord spoke to me in my heart. But that was not the Lord. It was themselves. It was their soul. And they give themselves prophecies and say, God said I'm a prophet, but God never said it. But they believe they had it inside of them, but it was not the Lord. You see? This is what I'm saying. The moment you believe certain things, because I want you to understand, belief is a very dangerous thing. Belief is a very dangerous thing. Right? So this is why when we believe, we must not believe in the dark. When we believe, we must be able to verify our beliefs. We must find a way to verify our beliefs. Because if you believe something, if you can read history and look at what is happening today in the world, in our modern world, you find that people actually can even kill for their beliefs. Because belief is the force behind, when you truly believe becomes the power behind your actions, right? And whether that belief is right or wrong becomes irrelevant the moment you believe, right? Let's say, for example, there was a day you believe in Santa Claus as a kid, and you believe that Santa Claus was giving, people gifts, and it was Christmas time. Santa Claus is gonna come. Or I don't know, in your nations here, in those of you in other countries like the US and the UK and yeah, here in Africa, in the continent of Africa, the first time you lose a teeth as a child, one of your teeth comes out. You will take that tooth and put it into your shoe as a baby, because there's this belief that as a kid, you are taught that when you lose when your first teeth comes out, there's a rat that is going to give you money, but you have to take that teeth and put it inside the shoe. So let's say you're a baby, your first teeth comes out, you take it, that tooth, you put it inside the shoe. Then your parents, they take the tooth, they put money for you there. When you wake up in the morning, there's money there, and you become excited, and you so believe it was the rat, right? And of course, when you lose the second tooth, you will want to do the same thing, but then your parents will be telling you that no, the second time it doesn't work. It only works on your first tooth. You understand what I'm saying? And now the other kids who are growing, seeing that, listening to that, they then believe that there's really a rat that is giving little children money for losing their first tooth. You see that? It's a belief. It's so strong that as a kid you will believe it just as you believe. As a kid in Africa, you will believe it just as you will believe in Santa Claus, because Santa Claus is not really an African thing. Not many kids actually here in Africa think about Santa Claus. Right? But little kids, I don't think, in fact, even kids of today still believe that. Right? Remember what I'm talking about. I'm talking about belief. Belief is very powerful. Right? So, back to dreams, right? If you believe in dreams, now there is room now for the devil and for self to deceive you in the dream realm, because you now believe in it. Because if I don't believe in something, it doesn't matter. You can't tempt me with something I don't believe in. You see? You can't deceive me in an area about something that I don't believe. But the moment I believe, then, you understand? It's like the whole ancestral thing, right? It's so strong in Africa, and the devil continues to deceive people about it because they believe it. So if I believe in the whole worship of the ancestors, how they become gods, or death updates or elevates them to the status of the gods. So if I believe all of that, so if my grandfather passes away and he comes back to me in a dream, then I believe the dream, because already there's an underlying belief in the whole thing. Understanding? So the same thing, the moment you believe in dreams, you need to know that you have now opened yourself up not only for God to speak to you, but for self to speak to you, but also for the devil to be able to influence your desire, to your dreams. Okay? So, 1, dreams come from God. Number 2, dreams can come from yourself, from your soul, or your subconscious mind. Right? And when I'm saying from your soul, I include things like your fears, your desires, all of that. Right? Dreams can come from there. And then number 3, dreams can come from the devil, which should not be a possibility for a child of God. Right? But of course, depending on your spiritual discipline, you can be able to get a dream from the dark realm. So you understand? So now we will talk about dreams from God. Let's start talking about dreams from self or from your soul, and let's talk about dreams from the enemy. Then we're going to talk about dreams from God, right? There are so many dreams that will come to you as a result of the information in your subconscious mind, right? There are dreams like that, and a good example is you go through, maybe during the day you go through your day, you meet certain people, you do certain things, and then at night you find yourself dreaming about the people you were with, or the conversation you were having, or something that you saw, or you find yourself having a dream about the movie that you were watching, or you understand. So I want you to see how, and what I'm trying to show you here, I'm trying to show you that dreams are subjective. They are not, yes, they're subjective, right? They're subjective. So, and by subjective, I mean dreams can be induced and dreams can be influenced. And that is more reason for discernment. That is more reason to be careful with your dreams, not just believing everything you see in your dreams. Right? I'm teaching you now to deal with your dreams. So there's this group of, this is one category of dreams that are going to come to you. They are based on your things that are in your subconscious mind, things that have been there for years. Some of the things, they go way back to your childhood. Some of the things go way back to your upbringing, your school days, your high school days. I know some of you, for example, you still dream things back there, you understand? And you are dreaming them because they are inside of you, in your subconscious mind. Most of the things that you are dreaming from your past, had you not been through them or seen them or heard them, probably you would not dream them. And this is one powerful thing about prophetic dreams. It's like words of knowledge. Words of knowledge is like you receive information that there is no possible way to receive in the natural. It's a word of knowledge. So you know something that you were not told, someone didn't write it to you, you understand? And you just know. The knowledge comes to you. So the same thing, prophetic dreams, when they come to you, they will bring to you information about something that you know. Of course, let's say, in fact, I'm getting ahead of myself, but we'll talk about that. And by that I mean, I'll be giving you this something very important, another key to dream interpretation. Most of the times, your dreams will be speaking to you about you. Even if you see people, even if you see different people, most of the time, your dreams are there about you. Right? and you must understand that. And most of the people that are going to be appearing in your dreams, they are going to be symbolic. The place is symbolic. The numbers, the colors, all these things, most of the times they're going to become symbolic, right? And I'll come back to that point. Let me finish what I was talking about. So this is the category of dreams. I call them natural dreams, or cleansing dreams, or purging dreams, right? They are induced by the contents of your subconscious mind, right? And that could be your fears. Let's say, for example, you're someone who believes too much in witchcraft. It's so easy to see people performing witchcraft against you in a dream because you believe in it and you fear it. There are people who fear witchcraft, and it's a bad thing if you are a child of God. You understand? So, but there are people, they are individuals like that, and because they have that fear in them, so the fear will produce the images in their minds, and then when they are asleep, the fear will begin to pass on the screen of their minds, and they will begin to see it, and then they will wake up. Let's say you even saw me in that dream, and then you wake up and be like, the blacksmith is bewitching me. You understand? And you find that that is not the case at all. The problem is that you have fears of witchcraft. So that fear is speaking to you in your dream, in your dreams. You see? So dreams, they can become very subjective, right? So you have to be careful of that. Number two, your dreams can come from your desires, the things that you want, right? One of the classic examples is that when you desire to receive impartation from a certain man of God or woman of God, you might have dreams like seeing yourself kneeling before them and they're praying for you. The desire is speaking to you, right? And not always, by the way, right? Not always. It's not always the case, but oftentimes than not, a lot of people who come and say, man of God, I always see, prophet so-and-so in my dreams praying for me, imparting me, right? And you find that this person follows these prophets, loves these prophets, highly esteems these prophets, desires to be taught by this prophet, desires to be imparted by this prophet. So when they are asleep, the desire begins to induce the dream. And the dream is not coming from God. Right? And one way to know, one easy way to say that is not really the Lord, is that, and such people, end of the day, they don't have the means and the resources to be able to go and meet the prophet they want to meet. And 20 years comes and go, they have not met the prophet. But if it was God who was showing you that you are supposed to be imparted by prophet so and so, God then will make a way. Because God can't say, God, think about it. God can show you and say, okay, that's where I want you to go and get imparted. And then God says, but you figure out how you get there. That's none of my business. But Lord, you are the one who say, you see? So, and this is one classic example. And I'm talking to prophetic people here who you have had those dreams. Some of you are watching me right now. You've seen men of God praying for you. You've seen men of God giving you their jackets. You've seen men of God doing gestures that are signifying that maybe they were giving you over their grace, they were giving you over their mantles and whatnot. But at the end of the day, it has been 10 years since you had that dream. It has been 20 years, some of you it has been even 30 years since you had that dream and nothing is happening, because the dream was never from the Lord from the first place. See that? So this is why I'm saying to you, the moment you believe in dreams, you have to be careful now. You have to be very careful, because your fears, your dreams, your aspirations and things like that, they are also going to produce dreams, and you're going to see those dreams. So you must have a way of being able to you need discernment to be able to discern that, oh, this is just a natural dream. Oh, this is just a pageant dream. My fears are just playing out on my mind when I'm sleeping. Oh, my desires, right? And then you let them go, because some of you are busy trying to interpret a dream that came from your fear. Some of you are busy trying to interpret a dream that came from your desire. See? And then that's when you begin to get into a maze now, and you are not going to be able to come out there. Right? Because now you think every dream has a meaning. And it is not so, my friends. Right? So this is why you have to grow in the whole subject, so that you can be able to know when a dream is from the Lord and when a dream is not from the Lord. Right. Let's call this natural dreams cleansing dreams. Right? Then let's go to the third ones. Right? I started with number 2. I'm going to number 3, then I'll go to the first. So number 3 is dreams from the enemy. So dreams from the enemy, they should be impossible for a believer, not unless you have opened yourself up to demonic influences. See, influence is very important. You see, one of the things that is very important if you want to become like a serious dreamer of dreams, if you want to master the dream realm, one of the things you must learn to do is to cleanse your soul and protect it from contamination. And that means guarding your ear gates and your eye gates. Because these are the two gates, eyes and ears. These are the two gates through which most things come into us that affect our dream life. So there are ungodly things that you can expose yourself to. There is spiritual contamination that you can expose yourself to, which then will allow the devil to attach himself to your dream life in your soul. Then you can have nightmares. Then you can, the devil can plant seeds in your mind, because the devil just wants to plant an idea in your mind, and then he knows you will destroy yourself from there going forward. Like you remember the conversation between Eve and the devil, and Satan said to her, "Did God really say you should not eat? Did he really say?" So he is infusing doubt in her. She's trying to get her to begin to doubt. He wants to plant a certain idea in her mind. And he did. And the rest was history. You see that? So this is why you have to protect your soul, right? You have to protect your soul. If you know that God communicates with you through dreams, you have to protect your soul. So you protect your soul. Mainly, you protect your soul from demonic dreams that comes from the demonic realm. And concerning natural dreams and cleansing dreams, you simply need to change the contents of your subconscious mind. So you must be able to protect your soul. Number 2, I said you must be able to change the contents of your subconscious mind. And you do that through spiritual music like worship, prophetic worship, study of God's word, reading spiritual books, and then of course as you live your life in that environment, also your experiences, your encounters, they change, and that significantly affects and change the contents of your subconscious mind. Okay, so it's very important. So now I want you to always remember this. Don't believe every dream you have. The verse that there's a verse in the book of John that says, do not believe every spirit. Right? That do not believe the Bible says, because there are many spirits in the world. Right? But okay, do not believe every spirit. But what does that mean? Because spirits can speak in dreams. Right? So do not believe in every spirit. It can be accurate. It can be translated to do not believe every dream. That's the thing. So a lot of people end up having a lot of confusion. This is why I'm having this conversation. A lot of people end up having a lot of confusion in their lives because they believe every one of their dreams, and the devil can use that effectively against them and against the people around them. Right? So you end up not getting along with people because you always have a negative dream, or you have seen someone doing this to you. Listen, and this is one of the things as New Testament prophetic people or prophets you must be able to master. You must be able to overcome the propensity to become negative in the beginning of your prophetic journey. A lot of in emerging prophetic people, they think that if God's speaking to them, they must be breathing fire, issuing judgments. They understand? And of course, they're inspired by the Torah. They're inspired by the law and the prophets. All right? But then they remove the cross between the Old Testament and the New Testament. There is the cross there. So Old Testament prophetic ministry and New Testament prophetic ministry, they're not the same. In the Old Testament, oftentimes, a prophet came prophesying against the nation, maybe the king as well, against their sins. So that's why we see their style of ministry, like they are like angry guys, lonely guys, persecuted guys, right? So you have to understand the covenantal setting. You have to understand also, you must be able to bridge like historical gaps, what's happening, why did they operate like that, right? So prophet is coming, a certain king has moved away from the Lord, and then the prophet is coming, is prophesying, and the king is hardened, and the prophet is breathing fire, and then the king is persecuting the prophet. You understand? This is why sometimes even the mentality that as a prophet you just have to be persecuted, there's an amount of truth to it, but it doesn't necessarily mean simply because you're a prophet then you have to be persecuted. That have to be said too. We have to talk about that as well. Are you getting it? So it's important, my friends, that you understand that. But you now as a prophet, you are prophesying people that have given their lives to Christ, to Jesus Christ. More importantly, you're prophesying people that Jesus has already died for. So your prophetic ministry must enforce the finished works of the cross. So you're not prophesying like you are Elijah and you are coming from the outside and you are going to be prophesying to Ahab with these idols and whatnot. You are prophesying, even if you are prophet, you were to go out and prophesy people who are not in the church. Jesus has already died for those people. So your prophetic ministry must enforce the finished works of Christ. How about that one? Understand? So, and what am I talking about? I'm talking about that tendency to, become negative as you're beginning. Maybe you're trying to be, powerful, because a lot of beginners in the prophetic, they have a lot to prove, right? So they have a lot to prove. But the more you grow, you come to the place of maturity, you actually understand there is actually nothing to prove. I'm serving God. What is important is that I become faithful and I faithfully deliver what I hear, what I see, what I feel, right? I'm not trying to build a name. I'm not trying to build a profile. I'm not trying to build a track record. I'm just being faithful to deliver what I feel the Lord is giving to me for the people around me. You get it? That's it. So, but people, when you were a beginner, you were trying to prove a point. People even get offended that, you didn't believe their prophetic word. You find someone extremely offended, right? So the same thing with dreams. When you're still, trying, I don't want to say prove a point, but yeah, when you're maybe you're trying too hard to be prophetic. So you want to believe that your every dream is prophetic. Do you know that kind of a thing? So even if, I've seen some people, they'll bring a dream to me, now I tell them that's not a prophetic dream. They'll be upset, or they'll be upset. They will not be happy that I actually told them that their dream didn't come from the Lord, because they wanted the dream to come from the Lord. So you don't have to try too hard to believe. Your job is, you are a receiver. Dream's gonna come from you. So you need to close the door for the enemy to influence your dream. You need to renew your mind, your subconscious mind, so that you can change the contents of your subconscious mind. Then you need to be open as a receiver, to be receptive to prophetic dreams that are coming from the Lord. So in the process, when you're receiving dreams, you are aware that they can come from different sources. So when you receive a dream, you begin to work on those dreams. You begin to work on those dreams. You begin to discern, you begin to check. So what you do is, it's like when you get a dream, you don't have that thing, I want it to be from God. This dream, I hope is from God, right? You become neutral. You're just interested in finding out whether it's from God or not. But you don't have the need for it to be from God. I want to be a powerful dreamer. That's where deception begins. That's where problems begin. I hope this video was a blessing to you, and I'm going to be seeing you on the next video. I'm Bongani Blacksmith. I'm signing out.